We're nearing that halfway point of the year, and you know what that means. We saw several great flagships announced in the first half of the year, but HTC opted to hold off until now to unveil theirs. They did announce a pair of phones shortly after CES, the HTC U11 and Play, but neither were regarded as flagships from the company. Now that they've seen what the competition has done, they're finally the last of the bunch to take the wraps off its latest hero device. This is the HTC U11, the 11th so-called true flagship in HTC's history. Expectations are riding high with this one, so it'll be interesting to see how the HTC U11 will remain relevant given what we've seen and is out there right now. Say goodbye to metal and hello to that familiar liquid design language we saw in the HTC U11 and Play. It leverages the same all-metal glass construction and unibody aluminum band with the same mirror-esque finish. It certainly adds a layer of luster to the phone, but just like before, it's a magnet for fingerprints. Despite that, it looks attractive, but more importantly, it's manageable to hold with one hand. Love it or hate it, there's no headphone jack with this one, so you'll have to rely on the USB Type-C port. Thankfully, they're including a brand new pair of HTC U-Sonic headphones, which now features active noise cancellation courtesy of the HTC U11's audio processing. They've also tweaked the construction a little bit here because it features an IP67 rating. The HTC U11 didn't have that, so it's nice to have it here. This liquid glass design language is a step up over what we see in the LG G6, but it's really tough to say if it's better looking than the Galaxy S8. While there are a few iterative improvements with the design, the HTC U11 certainly has the good looks in attracting our attention. Part of the reason why it's more manageable to hold is because of its screen. It's a 5.5-inch Quad HD Super LCD 5 display with Gorilla Glass 5. Obviously, we can't complain about the resolution and size. It's more than ample for VR purposes. And you know what? Super LCD technology has always been superior with outdoor visibility under direct sunlight. So it's reassuring that the same is found here with the HTC U11. This is definitely in flagship territory because it's powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. Now the US variant will only be available with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage, whereas with the international model, it'll have that and another one with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Luckily, we didn't see any hiccups with the 4GB model in our short time checking it out. Plus, there's expansion courtesy of its microSD card slot. The software experience with Sense is very similar to the HTC U11. They added this thing called HTC Edge Sense. By squeezing the sides of the phone, it offers quick access to certain functions. It's able to recognize short and long squeezes, so you can program it to do things like turning on the flash, launching the camera, taking a selfie, and much more. Essentially, it's a new form of shortcutting. Now, is this novel? In a way, maybe, but there's still some practical applications for it, like taking a photo underwater, or maybe turning on the flash in the frigid winter without taking off your gloves. Moving on to the cameras, there's a 12-megapixel ultra-pixel camera in the rear, which features OIS, a dual LED flash, and an f1.7 aperture lens. Complementing that is a beefy 16-megapixel front-facing camera with a backside illuminated sensor. Now we can't pass judgment just yet about it, but HTC assures that it's going to be near or at the top of many benchmark tests. So, knowing what HTC has brought to the table, is it enough to compete against the current lineup of flagships? HTC definitely had ample time to organize and develop its flagship phone to make it formidable. At the current moment though, it's honestly going to hinge on one key factor, and that's pricing. So at launch, it looks like Sprint will be the only US carrier to sell the HTC U11, which has a price of roughly $700 attached to it. That's right there with the rest of the pack, but HTC sweetened the deal by giving away 2 Amazon Dots if you pre-order right now from Sprint. Unlocked versions of the phones will be made available through HTC and Amazon's websites. The price is more justified than the HTC U11, but it still has some stiff competition. If it proves to be superior in key areas like battery life, performance, and camera, it can absolutely bring back HTC to the spotlight. And that is our quick look at the new HTC U11. If you guys want to learn more about this device, you could check out our website, androidauthority.com. This is John V, signing off.